Get up in the morning, I like to look out at the ocean.
Well, you could just turn your head.
Hello, welcome to Trash Opinions, where we talk all things trash. I am your host, Trash, and today we are going to be talking about Survivor Caramoan, which is a season that is not highly regarded in the Survivor community, and for good reason. Its cast is pretty lackluster. It leaves a lot to be desired, to say the least. I wouldn't call it outright terrible, but it is one of the blandest casts we've seen so far. But we will get into that in this video, which is gonna start. But before it does, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff, and let's get right on into Survivor Caramoan.
But I'm hoping the fact that I was the first person out my first season is going to work to my advantage, because there are much bigger threats in the game. So when they're looking around and wondering, who do they need to be worried about, hopefully they won't be thinking about me.
Francesca Hoagie. Francesca, a favorite? I mean, I like Franny, but a favorite comparable to Micronesia's cast of returnees? You have to be joking. Poor Franny. They did her extra dirty this time around. They basically booted her based on the fact that her being the first boot twice would be hilarious, and it is. I mean, it is funny that she's the only first and probably only two-time first boot, and that will never happen again. It's so hilariously tragic.
If I am voted off first a second time, I will eat this rock. It's not gonna happen.
It happened to a fairly competent player, too. Franny's just not as fun and dynamic as she was in Redemption Island. She's just kind of there until she's not. Though she still has some entertaining moments throughout. Her going down first twice is freaking hilarious, though. She's definitely going in fun downfall.
Who exactly was Allie? Which of the three blondes was she?
Reynolds' girlfriend.
Allie Pohovitz. Who? Throw in me. Hope Driscoll. Who? Hope? Who's Hope? Hope I can remember her. Like, probably not. Meh.
Busting my ass while you're sitting there. I know you're dehydrated.
Getting dog. I mean, what are you doing though? Like, what are you really doing though? Like, what have you accomplished?
Dogging what I'm doing.
Oh, I think you're getting on me. I think you're saying this, and I think you're saying that.
I don't need to.
All right. Shut up. Stop talking to me.
Shamar Thomas. Holy shit, they let an interesting and funny fan slip through to the cast. Quick, get this man medevaced. Shamar is absolutely nuts. He just blows up on people for no reason, tells Matt to shut up when he points out the obvious fact that Shamar doesn't work. It's wonderful.
Shamar, I'm gonna call you out right now. Your behavior is not acceptable.
So it is
where
what
I come
it is.
from. And I
Because
feel
I don't
like
have an
most of
opinion.
us do it
I don't have an
respectfully.
opinion. So you and your friends, y'all can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about.
I just think that's
I don't
childish.
care.
And I think we did have some chemistry.
Let it
We
be
did have some
childish
chemistry.
then. Let it
And
be
then all of a
childish
sudden you
then.
start
Let it be
pouting. No
childish
one wants
then.
to listen to Shamar.
Yo,
Shamar,
let it
no one wants to listen to Shamar.
let it be childish. It is
Where I
what it
come
is.
from.
So what you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna vote for you tonight.
All right then. So that's it. Vote. All right. It's too easy.
A much needed boost of fun on a tribe devoid of it. He blows up in arguments with Reynold, and the entire tribe can't stand him. Sherry's smart, and sees him as the perfect goat, as you should, because he is.
I can tell you now that they want you with us.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm
Which
good.
I-
I'm totally down for that.
I feel good about the six. Laura, Julia, Shamar, Mike, and Matt. We are solid.
That's my gang. And so it's us six against the foursome, the couples, the lovers, the whatever you want to call them.
Just keep talking and run your mouth
Yep.
like you're good at.
Yep.
Bitching about water.
He has such a huge mouth on him, and he does not know how to stop talking. It really seems like he's doing it on purpose, too. It's like his only goal is to have the last word, no matter how petty it is. He's so delusional, too. He says, "I don't bother nobody," despite everybody on the tribe thinking he's obnoxious. He celebrates as if his tribe won during a loss, having to be told that they lost by the rest of the tribe. It's hilarious.
That's what I'm talking about. We won. That's what we talking about.
He's like a male Abby Maria. Shamar is a nut. He for sure belongs in Delightfully Crazy. I love the guy. Laura Alexander. Who? 2. Electric Boogaloo. Meh.
Come on, Brandon. Brandon, out now.
Stop it. Hey, Phil, here's a reason to bone out, you little. Huh? With your stuff all rust, book, huh? Come on, bitch. I'm the author of my fate, buddy. I'm the author of my fate. Now vote me out, bitch. Own up to what you do. Just because you're 100 years old doesn't mean you hadn't made a mistake. I came and apologized to you. You never
Over
apologized
and
to
over
Brenda.
again. You are
That's
one
what I
pathetic
thought.
individual.
You're pathetic. You're a
You
little...
are pathetic.
Hey, shut your mouth.
You
Shut
can't
your
shut
mouth.
my mouth.
I'm tired of you talking. You've been talking.
Don't walk this way.
Days.
Don't walk this way.
Brandon. Come here. Brought you over here for a reason.
So for him to come out here right now and spew what he spewed at this tribe, I hope you're strong enough to realize, just maybe, you made a mistake.
Shut up.
That's your typical response.
Shut up.
You need to grow up.
You need to shut up. You
And
get a
that's
little
where
bit
you talk
younger.
to your elders, right? That's right, you do that. I remember watching you with Russell when you were at the finale, talking to your uncle who let you live in his home. You'll probably talk to the aunt that's taking care of your kids that you left
Bring
in
my
Dr.
kids
Straight.
into this, I'll come over there and knock your head off.
All right, hold on.
Bring my
Phillip,
kids
Phillip.
into this, bitch.
All right, hold on, brother. Hold on, brother. Come here.
Phillip, you're a bitch.
Brandon Hance. Brandon is not a favorite either. I, in fact, could not stand Brandon. With a slightly older Brandon, you start to see the family resemblance. With his new Confederate flag tattoo, maybe I misspoke saying his favorite rapper is Eminem. It might now be Kanye West. Makes his blow up with Phillip have a little bit more subtext I could draw from, just saying. He has some of the worst tattoos I've ever seen. I hate all of them. Fleur-de-lis, tribal tats, that star thing everyone has, your last name, little hands. Bro, come on, get some original tattoos, dude. I'm surprised there's no Chinese writing on him yet. He was so afraid of coming off as a bitch this time around that he became an even bigger bitch. Crying isn't what did it. It's little dick measuring contest with Phillip is what did it. I feel so bad for Dawn and Andrea in this situation. They seem so uncomfortable. He didn't need to dump the rice, and he didn't need to curse out his tribe, and he didn't need to try to fight Phillip at the challenge. He took it way too far. There's explosive blowups, and then there's just being a danger to yourself and those around you. Usually meltdowns are fun. This one wasn't. This was just uncomfortable. I also wonder what would have happened had Brandon fulfilled his threat of peeing in the rice. Brandon was annoying before, but you could sympathize with him to a certain extent. Now he's just straight up and fuck you. Matt Bischoff. Matt joined the cast just so Cochran wouldn't be left out as the only Ginge. See, this is how boring these fans are. I'm resorting to commenting on their looks. Matt's a good player and was dominant in his fans alliance before getting swap screwed, but at the end of the day, who gives a shit? Being the most strategic fan on this season is like being the least dirty dish in the sink. It doesn't matter, it's still getting thrown in the dishwasher anyway. What the fuck am I talking about? He's going in bed.
I'm tempted to say that she has like a vanilla personality, but I feel like that would be doing a great disservice to the flavor vanilla. I mean, people actively seek out vanilla-flavored products. Children clamor to get a vanilla ice cream cone. Nobody's clamoring for anything Julia-flavored.
Julia Landauer? Who? Who are you people? How did Julia last 7 episodes and I don't know anything about her? That's almost impressive. Meh.
On a scale of like 1 to on an airplane next to a baby annoying, he's on the airplane next to the baby annoying and the baby has diarrhea. I mean, it is the most annoying situation you can be in.
Corinne Kaplan. Corinne is not a favorite. I couldn't stand Corinne. Corinne's fine this season until the swamp, when she starts referring to Michael Snow as her gay.
Oh, do I have a special place in my heart for a gay? If I wasn't a moron and hadn't played this game before, I would turn on my entire alliance just to align with the gay. That's how much I like gays. I mean, I will say I'm glad that my gay gets saved. God save the gay.
What's your first impression of Michael been?
You know, I always like to play with a gay.
I'm not here to cancel Corinne, but this fish, seriously, Corinne seems normal compared to the Phillips and the Brandons of the world, and it was clear that she was brought back to stir up drama and be mean, but she was just kind of lukewarm and benign. I don't actively dislike her the way I did on Gabon, but I did find her just rather annoying.
Well, this is what I had hoped would happen. Some of the favorites would start to see each other's threats and start to use some of the fans. Unfortunately, they didn't use me for that vote, but they can use me for other votes.
Michael Snow. It's ironic his name is Snow because he's milquetoast as fuck. I've heard him described as the most normal guy to ever play Survivor, and it's hard not to agree with that. He's just so plain Jane. Meh.
Congratulations on being an official member of Stealth R Us.
Really?
I am known as the specialist. There's True Grit. That's the silent one.
I'm silent.
Dominatrix.
You should take that back.
The Eliminator.
You're going down.
The Intelligentsia Attaché. The Enforcer. The Conqueror. And you are Serenity.
Nice. I'll take it.
And we have a newer member, a very, very effective double agent who is able to share a tremendous amount of operative information in the form of Sherry, and her name is Tenacity.
Philip Shepard.
I don't know why I don't know why, like, in the rest of the world people don't do this.
Because they're not the specialists.
Philip is not a favorite. He was actually rather uncomfortable, and I like Philip more than most people. However, this is a much more toned down and less abrasive Philip, and I like him a lot more this time around, actually. He doesn't last nearly as long as he did last time, but he still has his fun moments. His naming of each member of the Alliance with his little secret agent nicknames is always great, no matter what Brandon says about it. He tries to play a boss and Rob game, and it's hilarious because Philip is no Rob.
We could have won that challenge had I wanted to. I didn't want to win that challenge.
You're gonna say that.
I will also give Philip all the props in the world for dealing with Brandon's abuse without resorting to anything rash. Coming from a man with as much pride as Philip, I'm sure being called a bitch multiple times by some young 20-year-old kid wasn't easy for him. Philip came out of that looking classy as hell comparatively. Granted, him saying don't bite the hand that feeds you was a super douche thing to say, but it doesn't warrant how badly Brandon verbally assaulted him. Him trying to convince Dawn and Corinne that he totally threw the challenge to get rid of, Julia is absolutely hilarious, and clearly just him trying to save face. Philip is much more palatable this time around, and it's much appreciated. He's idled out of the game, giving Cochran a +3 in card advantage, and I'm going to put him in entertaining.
Hold up, man. They all voted for me. You can tell. That's what that whole story was about. Give it to me. I'm in good shape. I'm being dead serious right now.
Malcolm Freeberg. Malcolm was a favorite. Hey, they did well with this choice, as obvious as it was. Malcolm's face when Philip's describing him as the enforcer to the camera is absolutely hilarious. The rebel leader is just as entertaining as he was in Philippines, but it's only brought down by his much less stellar supporting cast, and it doesn't help that his "Hold up, Reynold" line is so misquoted, even within Survivor itself. People always think it's "Hold up, bro," when it's not. Stop saying that. Do you hear that, Max Dawson? Malcolm also seems to be taking notes from playing with Penner this time around. Watching him chug an entire beer was also amazing, but he's a bartender, so that's to be expected. He's on the outside of the favorites once they make the merge, so he forms the three Amigos with Reynold and Eddie as they just keep playing idols on each other until they start getting picked off, starting with Malcolm. Malcolm is nowhere near as dynamic and memorable as he was on Philippines, but he's still the same likable Malcolm. It's a shame this is his last time that Malcolm is a significant character on a season. It was fun while it lasted. He's at least going in entertaining.
What do you think about me?
I think that you're Oh, I think you're kind of chauvinistic.
Yes!
Yes.
Reynold Topher. Reynold, an actually interesting fan. Hey, he's such an alpha bro in the most fun way. He reminds me of Alex from Fiji mixed with Burton. He's just such a massive dick the entire time, and I kind of love it. Maybe it's just that the rest of the fans were just so devoid of any charisma, but Reynold is just a breath of fresh air in this garbage tribe. Maybe not fresh air, but air that vaguely smells of Axe body spray and testosterone. A lot of people don't like Reynold for a good reason. The dude is a total asshole for the entire season. He doesn't seem to understand that people are just genuinely kind sometimes, as evidenced by his final tribal council question to Dawn. He's super happy to be called a chauvinist too. What? Reynold is such a ridiculous man, but it's still the Caramoan fans tribe, where nobody's really that good, so he goes into mildly entertaining.
If my name comes up, then let me know, but right now it's fine.
It's been talked about.
Me?
Yeah. And that's why I'm trying to, like, run around with Reynold. We're trying to avoid that.
I'm going home tonight.
Andrea Bulky. Andrea is not a favorite. She was alright at best, come on. Andrea gets traumatized almost like it's part of her contract.
Yesterday, said I'm really sorry.
Sorry to interrupt, Philip. Now, Andrea, your emotion. What are you feeling?
For me, it just really hurts. It's sad to see. I've grown close to Brandon out here, and I can't relate to what you're going through. And it's hard because we're all out here to play a game, and we've been doing so well, and we had great unity, and to see two people fight and say really cruel things to each other,
I said nothing to
Okay, sorry, then I'm talking.
Philip Shepard doesn't say nothing wrong ever.
I hope Survivor provides free therapy after the game. She once again plays the Flirt Man's game in Survivor, but instead of Matt Elrod, it's Eddie Fox, which is a significant downgrade, let's be honest. But hey, at least Eddie can say 4 words to you without bringing up Jesus. Andrea is okay as always, not super dynamic, but not interesting enough where she can at least be a cog in someone else's story. Andrea is an alright character, but she might be a great one if she didn't only play in shit seasons. She gets blindsided, and she takes it like a champ on the chin. I would argue Andrea on this season should go into Fun Downfall.
If this is a strategy, it's a strange one.
It's a strange one.
Brenda Lowe. She's so dangerous. Brenda was not a favorite. She was some people's favorite, but not mine. Even if you were a fan of her, she's purpled anyway. Brenda is invisible most of the pre-merge, and she only starts getting content when Dawn's teeth and her top 10 anime betrayals vote out.
I got hit in the mouth a while ago and I lost my bottom teeth, and I have a retainer that has the teeth on them, and I took a gulp of water in the bun and they came out, and I don't have them, and I need a mask, and I can't do it. I'm trying. Oh my God, Brenda! I love you so much. Thank you so much.
15th person voted out and the 6th member of our jury. Brenda.
I was honest with you guys. I was genuine with you guys.
Time for you to go.
It hurts.
Brenda diving down to get Dawn's teeth is probably the biggest display of kindness ever shown on the show. Her getting super excited over cookies and brownies tracks too. Her loved one's visit is famously the one to make Jeff Probst cry, and it's so sweet. It's weird. Even though she's purpled, I still like Brenda a lot more on this season than I do in Nicaragua. She has more memorable moments despite having less of them. The whole Survivor auction with the pig brain just piles on to Sad Sack Brenda, but I weirdly like Sad Sack Brenda.
$300 bought you pig brain.
Okay. Ironically, I don't feel like crying right now, which is weird.
Do you want to try it?
just remember that I don't eat pork.
She sounds like she's on the verge of tears every time she talks, and it's kind of funny how dogpiled she gets by the game. It's no wonder she's never returned and why she seems so bitter at Dawn at the reunion. She went through a lot of shit. However, all that goes by the wayside once we get to Final Tribal Council. Telling Dawn to take out her teeth, while a fan favorite scene, is not one of my favorites. The entire time I'm just feeling secondhand embarrassment for Dawn, and I do not do well with secondhand embarrassment.
Let's take it back a little bit. That day, when we heard shrieks coming from the jungle, it was
Yeah.
you, and I saw you in the most vulnerable state ever. When you were like, Brenda, I'm going to pull myself from the game if I don't get my retainer back.
Yeah.
And I said, no. I said, you're staying in this game, Dawn. I realized afterwards, I had Dawn's fate in the game literally in my hands. Tell me, would you really have given it up if you didn't have your teeth back? Something cosmetic. Would you have quit this game if I did not give you back your teeth?
No, I wouldn't have.
I need you to go beyond words this time, and I need you to prove it to me. I want everyone to see you the way I saw you that day. I want you to take out your teeth, Dawn.
I'm not gonna do
I
that.
want you to do
I don't
that.
understand how that.
Dawn, it's my thing. I know it's harsh.
Okay,
I know
I'll
it's
tell you,
tough.
I've played a hard game.
But Dawn,
I know,
this
but
is-
I'm not understanding
I
how
know
it
you're
relates.
not, and let me explain it. I had your fate in my hand that day. Okay. And you're telling me, no, you didn't, Brenda. I would have stayed. It really wasn't a big deal. If you're telling me that, yes, Brenda, I would have stayed in the game, I'm strong, I'm a fighter, then prove it to me right now.
If you're asking me to take them out and like humiliate myself, I'm happy to do that because truthfully,
Let's do it.
I'm happy to do it.
No talking, let's
I'm
do
happy
action.
to do it. There they are.
Okay, thank you. I did not want you to minimize
I
what
agree.
I did. That's why I did that right now. I wanted you to feel that because it's kind of what I felt.
I understand.
A little bit of heartbreak.
Honestly, if I was Dawn, I would have told Brenda to go fuck herself. Brenda didn't even vote for Dawn after all. What a bitch. Her downfall is the most iconic part about her run, and I feel like she belongs in Fun Downfall.
Bug.
Eric Reichenbach. I like Eric, but a favorite? No. I do like the fact that Eric got to return, but as a favorite, I don't know. Honestly, I would have accepted him more as a game changer. Doesn't have to mean game changer for the better, but his move to give up immunity in Micronesia is iconic and so bad it's good. It's a shame he's purpled because he's one of the better returnees on the cast, and it's kind of crazy he goes out at the exact same spot as in Micronesia. However, despite that, he still has some fun moments. Him passed out with the cookie in his hand is just so wholesome and cute, and so is him picking out the bugs in Andrea's hair. It's a shame he got medevac because he had a good chance to win this game. If he wins out and gets to the end, I feel like he wins against Cochran. I feel like he's just likable enough to do it. Call me crazy, sure, but I feel like he has tons of swing votes that could have easily swung his way. He didn't burn anybody. Ironically enough, this was Eric's best game. Just not as a character. He's going in Golden Boy.
I think that she wants to keep me here. I think that she likes me. And I think that she really does want to drag me along in this game. And I just need to be dragged 2 or 3 more votes before I can get up on my own feet and start punching people.
Eddie Fox. Eddie Fox is the smartest player ever and got every vote right. Was in the know for every alliance, masterfully playing both sides. He was the biggest jury threat of all time, which is why they needed to get rid of him at 4th. Eddie Fox is the best player never to win the game, and the fact that they never brought back this absolute gem of a strategical mastermind is a crime comparable to homicide. If you can't tell, all of this is sarcasm. He's going in meh.
Wait, you gotta put your hands down, Dawn, not yet.
Can I go whole?
Hold on, Dawn, put your food down.
All right.
Don't call it food.
Wait, put it down?
Yeah, just wait.
Dawn Meehan. Dawn, a favorite, come on. I do feel really bad for her in the pre-merge. Watching her disassociate during the Brandon meltdown was hard.
Dawn, you are consciously breathing in and out, trying to calm your body.
Just don't want to be here.
Most of her content is actually her crying and not knowing what to do. She does a total 180 compared to her last game where she's ruthless and isn't afraid to cut some throats, especially Brenda's. But she also just can't escape this shade of sad sack that she's painted with by the editing. My response to Dawn was ultimately lukewarm. Dawn should have been this really fascinating character, but she's just kind of not. The way she takes control of the game you could describe as interesting, but for me, she's just kind of okay at the end of the day. Her final tribal council performance is rather uncomfortable. She's just getting berated the entire time, and then Brendan basically pulls Dawn's pants down in the middle of it. It's tough to watch, and it does make me feel bad for her, even though Cochran is just loving it. I guess I'll throw her in good player.
Did you not say I want the strongest team possible? Did you say I want the strongest team possible?
Yes, I said that.
Okay.
Yes, I said that.
Okay, so why is
You're
she
acting
still...
like a madman.
Sherry Beatman. Sherry is basically invisible pre-merge aside from her vocalizing wanting to drag Shamar to the end. She then becomes more integrated with the favorites through her relationship with Phillip. She then pretty much sat by the sidelines while Cochran and Dawn do all the heavy lifting of the season, and she just doesn't really do anything post-merge. Her final tribal council speech is absolutely legendary, among the worst of all time.
I'm so nervous. This is like so crazy. I'm just so nervous.
Possibly the single worst. There's just not much to her character outside of her outbursts and her terrible final tribal council performance, but I feel like she has her moments enough where I do have a bit of a soft spot for Sherry, and the way she crashes and burns at final tribal council is glorious, so I'll put her in fun downfall.
Summer of 2000, I'm 13 years old, sitting on the couch at home with my mom watching Survivor Borneo. Over the next 13 years, still been watching it, never missed an episode. You know, I've gone through my first kiss, puberty, a little bit more than that. And this is the culmination of 13 years of loving this, and loving this with somebody I love, and getting to share this now with somebody I love. You can't beat it.
John Cochran. Cochran is not a favorite, but I just don't care anymore. One good returnee on a season with 10 of them. Wow, that's terrible. Anyway, Cochran is a character that, while his return is questionable, he completely does a 180 turn from his last game, and now he's an actual player in control. As he said, this was the guy who was afraid to take off his shirt last time, and now he's winning challenges, controlling the game, and he wins the second only perfect game. Even with all that, John Cochran is a pretty bland winner. He really didn't have to face much adversity during this run this time around, which made him interesting in South Pacific, and he just kind of runs the game as the alpha nerd. It sounds way cooler on paper. Cochran's arc of becoming less of a dweeb surprisingly makes him less endearing to watch. Like, I'm happy for him, I'm glad he won, but as a character, I just really wasn't feeling it. It just felt kind of mediocre, but he has this interesting arc, and I would say his great, albeit lucky, gameplay lands him in good player. Alright, and that was Survivor Caramoan, which is not nearly as bad as people say it is. It isn't as bad as, say, like, a Thailand or even a Nicaragua. And it does provide a lot of gameplay innovations, and like, a couple of the boots of the merge are pretty interesting, and there are things to like about it. But overall, it is a super bland season, one I don't really remember. It's usually kept in the dark recesses of my mind, and I don't really think about it that often, but I mean, you can do a lot worse than rewatching Caramoan. But if you like this video, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I do weekly content where I look at every Survivor season, and thank you so much for watching. If you got this far, you're awesome, and next week, we are looking at Survivor Blood vs. Water, a season that signifies a rebirth of Survivors of sorts, because the next string of seasons are way better than the last couple we have looked at, sans Philippines, but we will get there, and it will be fun. But thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. See you in Blood vs. Water.